Okay, now the shunts should have power. But yeah, I'm super interested to see how much weight we've stripped out of this. 3 hands, perfect right about now. Is that smoke? But there's a lot of fear out there that the experts putting out, so you don't do this sort of stuff yourself. G'day everyone, Adam here, going overland. Super excited. Got a new project I'm working on with the patrol. I've bought all this gear myself. This is not sponsored, but we're upgrading to lithium in the patrol. So we've had an old lead acid system in the car for probably 15 years. I've been thinking about this for a long time. So we got a ItechWorld 100 amp hour lithium battery in the camper. Super impressed with that. So I went out during their sale and got a 25 amp charger, 50 amp battery, lithium battery, which only weighs 7 kilos. And that 50 amps, you might not think it's enough, but that's basically the capacity in our lead acid battery, which weighs about 22 kilograms. So like for like, it'll be fine. It's going to charge up so much faster than the old lead acid, saving so much weight. Now the kids are getting heavier, the dogs are getting heavier, we need to keep shredding weight out of the patrol. So yeah, super excited. Join me along this week. Give us a thumbs up. I'm not an electrician or auto electrician, I'm just a handyman sort of a guy. I'm doing this on a budget, my own money. Wiring I've got left over in the shed, some wiring that I've got in the car I'm going to reuse. This is not going to be the state-of-the-art sort of electrical system. This is a budget, real-world electrical system. So follow along. Any questions you guys have, let me know. I'm not an expert, but yeah, I'll see if I can help you out. All right, let's get into it. So first thing to mount is the lithium battery, and it's pretty much already in a case. This thing is only 7 kilos, but even that's, oh, I must be getting old, it feels heavy. But I did weigh it, 'cause I did think it was more than 7 kilos, but no, it's 7 kilos on the dot. It's already in a case, just got to screw that to the back of the drawer system. I'm going to use the drawer system, it's going to be behind the rear seat. That way it's sort of a bit of a dead zone there.
There's dirt on my hands, strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon.
And the battery's just about mounted, so happy with that. It's Thursday afternoon. Work tomorrow, so I can do a little bit more tomorrow afternoon after work, and a little bit Saturday afternoon, and hopefully by Sunday it's all going to be finished. But well, the bulk of it anyway. The beauty of what I'm doing is it's not a full install of all the electrical appliances and components and all that. The car's already kitted out. It's got off the deep cycle battery we have 3 separate fuse blocks. So I'm just going to run power to those 3. I'm going to add an extra one in the back here so I don't have to run wires to the front and then back again. But everything's already switched and fused as well, so that certainly makes my job today a lot easier. Always one, just doesn't want to go in. Oh, don't you just love that? Oh, come on. That's alright. You guys sit back and enjoy this. I'll do the hard work. Yes. There we go. That's a win. A lot of people might be wondering why I've only gone a 50 amp hour battery. Look, we've got the 100 amp hour lithium in the trailer. And on our lap of Australia, the lead acid actually died. And basically every night we were just running the fridge off that 100 amp hour battery. I only charged off the solar, it didn't charge off the car at all, and that was more than enough. That was fine. We had no problems at all. No flat battery with that. I was running the inverter, all the lights, all the water pumps. So, I mean, if a 100 amp hour battery can do that with solar, this one with solar and a charger, 50 amps, it's only got to last one night. So, one night running the fridge, and look, when we do swag trips, it'll run the, you know, a few lights, a few camp lights, and that's about it. But if I can take 15 kilos out of the car, that's my main goal. Alright, so here's our little 25 amp hour charger. The black one, I believe, is the output, which goes into the battery here. So basically it's just plug and play. So if I plug that in there, then I can just mount that right there. Now if you're ever drilling into these draw systems, make sure you don't drill into the drawers, or that your hardware's short enough not to hit them. I'm lucky that on this side I've actually removed the drawer to be able to save weight, and the other side is that's what I have to do for those bolts. I did have to shorten them down. Exactly what I was telling you about. Screws are too long. Can't shut the drawer all the way. It's close, but something's about 10 mil too long, so I'll have to go check what screw it is. It's got to be one of these battery ones. Still, oh. I hope it's not the rib nut. I hope they're not too long, otherwise they're all got to come out. It's doing so well. Everything's mounted. Got you beauty. Great. Feels like that drawer is hard on those rib nuts. Damn, that's not a lot of clearance in there. That would only be in there about 8 mil. Alright. That's a job for tomorrow. Alright, back at it. Just got back from work, so I did a bit last night. It was getting pretty dark, so I don't know how the footage looked, but I got a lot of the earth wires done, which is probably more tricky than the positives because of the shunt. I had to figure out exactly what I was doing with that. But pretty simple once I worked my head around it. Basically, the negative coming out of the output for the charger, and the negative from the battery, and a negative from the ground is all running through that shunt. So yeah, it takes a bit to get used to and get your head around it, but once that was done, pretty easy to do the earths. Today's job is going to be running the positives from the cranking battery through the body to the charger.
I'm glad you can read your own handwriting.
So I did say earlier this is going to be pretty easy because I've already got everything all pretty white, but it's probably going to be actually harder because after 15 years of add-ons and accessories and modifications and you change things, there is so much spaghetti wiring in here. I know it doesn't look neat, and you know, you hear stories
functional.
You hear stories of, you know, this is a fire hazard, but it's not. This has been like this for years. Airings fused. We have had 0 gremlins with electrical. It looks like a mess because there's lots of wires all running off the battery.
Until now, Adam's the gremlin. He's making the mess of the wiring just so he can clean it up.
I know, it probably will have a few gremlins out there, I think. I hope not, but
no,
I'm labelling everything as I disconnect it. I do have it drawn up on my workshop manual, what all the fuses are for, so that'll help a little bit. But basically right now I'm just disconnecting everything off the deep cycle or the house battery or second battery. Disconnecting everything off there, labeling it because it's either going to have to get charged now from the battery in the back, or and like run through back to the engine bay, or it'll run through from that battery to somewhere in the car, the accessory in the car. Like the fridge battery, the fridge wiring does not need to come from the front now, and the inverter as well. So we do have two separate fuse blocks. One's on the dash, one's under the dash. Or not the dash. One's on the firewall, one's under the dash. So those fuse blocks will stay the same, but the wiring will have to come from that new battery, new system in the back. Yeah. So there's a bit of stuffing around with that, and then I've got to run a new power line from the cranking battery all the way through to
Lucky he's
the
got
charger.
The entire weekend to do it.
Oh, half of oh, three quarters.
What, how many weeks out from Christmas are you? You got a few weeks.
I should be right. I should get most of it done this weekend, and hopefully.
It'd be a nicer job to do in winter when it's cooler.
Yeah, but anyway, Black Friday sales.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, I'll keep going.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, this will take forever. Excuse the dog running around in the background. He's catching flies. It's his new sport.
Yeah. It's his hobby. We've all got those little hobbies.
Get the fly. What's it doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, little? Where's the old fella? The old fella's here. Yeah, you want a pat too.
Just sleeping.
All right.
Oh, good luck, Adam.
Get back into it.
But we should definitely set a timer up and just record exactly how long this takes.
If I wanted to get the system up and running, it wouldn't take long at all, but it's all the changes to it as well. Yep. So, yeah.
Do it right the first time, then you don't have to do it again.
So, yeah.
That's what you're going for.
So, yeah, just trying to label everything, doing it right, so that way I don't miss a wire in here. And hopefully I'll get a lot of this cleaned up too by changing it to the back.
It's going to look good.
Yeah, so it took also, better show you, took all the sills off. Like this is all wiring for like the fridges and rear speakers and all that. Took all that off because I'll run the wiring through here up into the new system. Probably more so on the driver's side than the passenger side. Sorry, Coop. Yeah, we're getting there. It's exciting. I don't want to show you any of the wiring under the dash. That's a nightmare.
Do you know what? Since Adam and I have been together, we've been together for years. And one of my biggest loves is seeing him work on the car. So he's always been doing that since we were young, and I love it. And he knows so much, and he can teach me so much if I was to listen.
Yeah. More so like, not just how much you save on labour doing it yourself, but also if a problem does go wrong, I know where it might be. Yeah. And
that knowledge, you're armed with that knowledge, especially if you go somewhere remote. Yeah. Whereas if someone else does all the work on your car, then you kind of, you don't know. They're not there.
You know,
and you can't call them.
Yeah, that's right. So
knowing what you're doing yourself is a lot better.
Yeah, if I know if there's a problem with the fridge, I know it runs through one of the fuse blocks, and then from there it runs to the battery.
Well, the biggest problem with our fridge at the moment is that there's never enough beer in there.
Never enough beer. Anyway, stop yapping, let's get rolling. Alright, having a bit of a win here. Got a lot of the stuff cleaned up. It looks better already. There's a few wires I'm going to have to replace. They're quite old. None of them are really critical stuff. Electronic rust preventer's got a small one in there. Yeah. Run the power wire through, put a fuse on this end before it connects to the main battery, and this is the spotlight one. I want to tie this one up, corrugate tubing on it all, and then run it through to the back. But we're getting there.
Water's up to my chin. Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it.
Alright, I'm happy to get this out, and it can stay out. Alright, so I don't know if you heard any of that before, but I've got to get the solar regulator out, or the lines to it out, because they've got to run to the charger in the car. So there's a line from the back, there's one from the front, there's one from the roof, all running to this King's solar regulator. It's worked fine, I have no problems with that. But yeah, I've got to get those wires out and figure out where they go. Does the back one go under the car or through the car? Here we go. Woohoo! Have a look at that. That's held up really well. Heavy though. That's probably half the way to the new battery. Oh, there's the solar regulator. What have we got? That's the front wire. That's the wires from the roof. That one there. You can cut that off. Well, the sun is just about to set. I just want to give you an update where we are before it gets dark, because I probably won't record too much tonight. I'm about to pull through the solar from the roof. I'm going to tie that onto this big black cable here and pull that through underneath to the bonnet, and got it all tidied up. Looks so much better, like so much wiring we've ripped out of there. Look at this, all this wiring, all this has come out. Here's the old battery system. I've still got the monitor I've got to pull out. Fixed up a couple of wires here, and yeah, it's looking so much better. Still got to neaten all this up, but yeah, really happy with how it's coming along. Under the dash, not much has changed there. We've tidied that up a little bit. This is the solar wires that was running through to the engine bay, so I've pulled that all out. Now I'm going to run it up into here and then into the back seat. So we're getting there. Back seat hasn't really changed much at all yet. That'll happen pretty quick once we got all the wires there. It's just a matter of hooking them all up and soldering them, putting connectors on them. All right, I'll do a bit more tonight, and then I'll check in with you guys tomorrow morning, see how we're going. Well, good morning everyone. Pretty productive night last night, up to about 10 o'clock. Just finishing off a few things, not everything. I think I've worked out there's about 5 wires I've got to finish off. One being the power to the Anderson plug at the very back of the car. That's probably the biggest one. I've got the solar routed into the car now from the rear. The front I've got to finish off. I've got it in the cab though, which is probably the main thing. The last plug there from the cranking battery here, and a few other things, but the car's a mess. Nothing's tested yet, so I've got to do all that as well, tidy it all up, but we're getting there. It's not too far. I should be able to finish today, I reckon. But yeah, I'm happy with the progress, but yeah, get some tools out and keep going. And I managed to get the fridge line all done. So the fridge just plugs straight into this Anderson plug here, and that's running through to the new fuse block. Once again, oversized wires because I've got plenty of them left, so yeah. And this is the that's our solar input from the trailer. That one just runs to a wire up here, another Anderson plug that I can plug the fridge into if we want to run it off the lithium in the camper. And this one used to run through to the front. That's just a 12 volt constant supply. That one now I want to reroute. Right, we're nearly there. A couple of little wires, solar's still not done, but I'm getting a bit impatient, so I'm going to get this thing hooked up and see if any smoke comes out of anything, which is a big fear when you're sort of doing this yourself and you hear all the hype online. I'm sure everything's fine, you know, but there's a lot of fear out there that the experts put in there, so you don't do this sort of stuff yourself. You know, they reckon, you know, you got to do this, you got to do that, you can't do it yourself, you got to have experts do it. And you know, as long as you're earthing right, you're fusing all your power, you've sort of gone, you know, you haven't done anything silly, there's no reason you can't do this yourself in your driveway. It's still a nervous thing, the first hookup. Be standing by with the fire extinguisher. And then what I'll do is I'll just do everything in stages. Connect the starting battery first, check all that over, then I'll start, then I'll connect this battery, then I'll connect the this charge line, I'll put the fuse in it, and then after everything sort of seems right with that, then I'll fire the car up and see if we get charge coming through the system then. 3 hands would be perfect right about now. Let's go connect the battery. And get a fire extinguisher. It's not that I don't have faith, I just like being cautious. I'm going to leave that loose a little bit first. But we've got power. The light's working. Yep. No smoke. It's good. It's a good sign. Fan's working. Ignition's on. Clock's on. Lights. Let's just check the lights are all working. Yep. They're all working. Horn's working. Alright, that's a good sign. Alright, step 2. Connect the battery in the back there. And I've got to remember to tighten that up before we... But I won't tighten it yet, in case I've got to disconnect that fast. Alright, step 2 is connect this up. They're still not connected through the fuse, so they're still separate systems right now, which is good. I don't want to rush this. Yep, same distance. Okay, tighten that up. We've got power there, so that's live. Just tighten the shunt up. There's wirings there, glue them all under there. I will tidy all these wiring up in the end, but I just want to leave them all out for now in case something goes wrong. Oh, I've got to check this. Alright. Now, I should be able to check the accessories. Check that they're all working now, because they're all running off this bat. Oh no, it's not fused here yet. So that'll be the next thing. Fuse it there, because that's the output. So that's running to everything else that's fused. So I think a 40 amp fuse in there to start. We got power. Any smoke? Any smoke? Should have to plug the fridge in and check that works, but alright. So that light's working. Alright, let's check the radio, because that wasn't on before, because that's wired to the second battery. Yep, that's a win. CB's on. Heard the dash cam, the VIFO dash cam turn on. That's good. That's recording. What else? Should be able to check. Yeah, we got power to the coupler tech. Alright. Yep, lights on. Cool. Alright, that's all good. Yep. We got power there. That's good. Oh yeah, we'll check the inverter working. That's a big one. Oh, haven't put fuses in there, of course. Of course. Alright, that'll be the next step. Let's put some fuses in there. Okay, now the shunts should have power. And now that should be the power to the light on the rear. Now, that's the next thing. Now we'll start the car. And then fuse. Fuse, then start the car. I mean fuse first. Alright. Now they do recommend not to use these fuses. They reckon you should use middies. Is that smoke? No, that's just fluff. Oh, that scared me then. Alright, it shouldn't actually do anything because we don't have, it shouldn't be connected because the voltage is low enough. So nothing should have changed putting that in. Oh yeah, we've got an extra flashing light down here. Charger. Okay. Cool, so the alternator light's flashing on the charger, that means it's registering power. Alright, I think the final critical step is to turn it on, let the voltage run through to the back, get the charger running, and see how it goes. So this is our shunt here. I don't know if you can see it or not. Well, I'm going to call that a success. The engine off, it's dropped back down to 13.4 volts right now. It was up on 14 volts with the engine running, so that means we have got output out of the charger, charging the battery up to the 14 volts, and then you're seeing that on the shunt, which is great. That means it's all working. There's no smoke, there's no fire. It's going to be a bit of a process, just checking everything, double checking everything, tidying up all the wiring, and then using it and checking it in real life. But I am super happy with it. Everything's working. There's no smoke, you know, all those fears that they all put in you. Like, I do understand, like, if you have a big system with a big load and a big charger, you've got to be a lot more critical. But with a little system, a little 25 amp charger, mate, it's a lot more forgiving, it is, especially if you overdo things. You know, bigger wires, you know, those big Anderson plugs, the big fuses instead of a MIDI fuse. I do understand if I had a 40 amp charger, probably would definitely use a MIDI. But I will upgrade these, I think. But yeah, super stoked, everything's working. Yeah, mate, under $1,000, built in the driveway on a weekend, a couple afternoons after work getting everything ready. But mate, I am super happy. I can't wait to get out there and use it. Oh, one more thing I want to do. I want to put everything I stripped out in a box and weigh how much weight we're taking out. We know we put probably about 8 kilos in, 7 kilos for the battery and this other stuff, maybe a kilo. But yeah, I'm super interested to see how much weight we've stripped out of this. 32 kilos. So everything we stripped out, 32 kilos. We've added about 8, so mate, that's a huge saving. What is that, 25 kilos, 26 kilos? That's a full jerry can plus a bit more. That's awesome. That's a lot better than I expected. So I've had the system up and running for about 2 hours now. I've had the solar plugged into it. It is getting signal. It's a bit cloudy today, so it's not really getting much power. And I just plugged in our Victron 240 volt charger, and it was just pumping in 30 amps through it. It's just now gone onto absorption, but I just noticed the cable was slightly warm, not hot, just slightly warm. And I thought, oh, what's going on now? I wonder how much power's going through it. So it was pumping 30 amps into the cranking battery, and then it's going through to the 25 amp hour charger, then into the lithium battery. So it was pumping it up, getting it fully charged. So it must be fully charged now, which only took it about maybe 20 minutes. Yeah. So yeah, now it's only sitting on 1.7 amps going into it. So it's fully charged already. Anyway, everything's up and running and getting it all tidy now. There's a few things I've got to tidy up and clean underneath. Some worn out paint where the other battery used to sit. So I'm going to get all that. But it's looking great now.
Now you just need to teach me how to use it.
Pretty much the same as before.
Press all the buttons.
Yep. Alright, so we're pretty much done now. The electrical system's complete. It's been tested. It's been up and running for about 3 hours now. I've had the charger on it, I've had the engine running, I've checked all the accessories, everything's working. Nothing to complain about, no problems at all. I've got the shunt all set up for this battery. Mate, you know, it was a busy weekend, but super happy with it. Excuse the dogs barking. Of course they've got to bark at the neighbours. Cooper, knock it off. Recording. Yeah, super happy with how everything's running, how it all performs. Fits behind the back seat perfect. We've taken 25 kilos of weight out of the car. We haven't lost anything in battery capacity because 100 amp hour lead acid is the same as the 50 lithium. Everyone knows that now. Yeah, super stoked. Solar's all set up. That was running. Oh, I just can't wait now to get out and test this a few more times with the fridge on, see how long it lasts. I might even do that tonight, throw the fridge in there, get it running for a while, get this battery down low, throw the charger back on it, make sure the system's working fine, and yeah, go from there. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Just wanted to show you guys that you don't need to go to a professional for this stuff. You can do it yourself. You do it right, take the time. You can do it in your driveway like I've just done. It's fantastic, I love it. And anything goes wrong, I know what everything is, where it's wired to, what could possibly be the cause of it. So I can quite easily fault find, because I know the system like the back of my hand. Alright, thanks guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.